You have been hired to play the part of Pinata for my son's birthday party. What delicious treats shall we find inside?
Ooh, bacon.
Hey, my tasty morsels. It's Reverse BLT here. Welcome back to my channel. I am about to start a new Disney Wednesday series. Was it the Book of Boba Fett? Yeah, that's right. Interesting that they decided to give Boba Fett his own series. I always thought it was interesting how this character who essentially had like what, 1 or 2 lines in the entire original trilogy ended up getting this expanded backstory in the prequels, and then, you know, ended up becoming someone that everybody was just super excited to see. It just sort of came out of nowhere. I'm always interested to see more expanded lore from Star Wars, so I'm excited to see where they go with this. I just thought it was interesting that they picked, you know, this one random character for the fandom to become obsessed with. When I heard he was going to be in the prequels and we were going to get a huge amount of backstory for him and everything, I was really confused by that, to be honest. I was like, why? I mean, who cares?
How dare you?
He's like literally just there, and then he dies in a Sarlacc pit, you know. But I actually really enjoyed how they tied it into the origin of the clone troopers, and I thought the guy who portrayed the original template, was it Jango Fett, did a fantastic job. Even though he, you know, again, didn't have a ton of lines, but fits with the character. But he really embodied that sort of like grizzled survivor kind of thing, and I thought it was interesting actually in seeing young Boba Fett, sort of like these little beats we got to explain the character and give him motivation for the future if they decided to use him for more stuff down the line, which clearly they're about to do. I thought that was pretty good. It was actually one of the highlights of the prequel trilogy for me. So I'm definitely curious to see where they go with this. We know that he was a dastardly individual, a scoundrel, if you will. So I'm guessing that we're going to see essentially a redemption arc of a kind, because you really can't have in modern, especially American films, and especially Disney Star Wars films, you can't have a proper villain be your protagonist, you know? So we're definitely going to be seeing him do a face turn, to use trope terminology, and basically become, if not a full-blown good guy, because that wouldn't really fit with the character, I don't think, a sort of, instead, an anti-hero. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. It looks like it's got a great cast. I saw some of the stills. It looks like Disney threw a shit ton of money at this, so I'm sure it's going to be very good looking at the very least. And I'm hoping that it's also going to be just good. Let's find out. Got our ominous music already. No, they've created a Star Wars expanded universe logo intro. Like you know what I mean. Words are failing me this morning. That looks familiar. It's Jabba's palace, isn't it? It's a much smaller throne though, so what, did Boba Fett end up taking over after Jabba was killed by Leia? Guess I should just wait for my questions to be answered, eh? Oh, we're gonna do ourselves a little recap. Okay. Little primer for all the people who may not have seen the prequels or don't remember what happened in them. Oh, this is cool. Going into some dark, some scary territory right off the bat. That would have been very, very difficult. That much sand would weigh a shit ton. I haven't seen The Mandalorian yet. I was assured that I could watch this without having seen that and it would be okay. Though now that I think about it, I'm not really sure how anyone would know that I could, since this is a new show, but neither here nor there. However, I did notice that they had the Mandalorian theme song in his theme just now, and it kind of remixed it a little bit. Freaking Jawas, man. It's like leaving your car sitting in the wrong place in Compton or something. Well, you guys might regret that. There's the sand people? I guess they gave up on walking single file to hide their numbers. What the hell was that? I'm half expecting them to tie him to the Wheel of Pain like in Conan the Barbarian. This is giving me major Conan the Barbarian vibes right now. Oh, I just thought of something. Nice touch having his skin be super pale. Really shows that he basically never ever takes off that helmet. It's like Master Chief in Halo. He finally takes his helmet off, and in the Halo 4, you get a glimpse of his eyes and everything, and he's like super pale. Ah, okay, so they do have titles. When I just saw it said Chapter 1, I was like, okay, so we're just going to be doing Chapter 1, 2, 3, etc. Interesting book, by the way, if you've never read Stranger in a Strange Land by Heinlein. You have been hired to play the part of Pinata for my son's birthday party. What delicious treats shall we find inside? Oh, one of the, can't remember my Star Wars species names. Be friends with it. Riddick that bad boy. That there's a doggo. And doggos of all types are the same. Befriend that doggo. Aw. Well, at least he soothed the poor creepy doggo after knocking it out. I have a feeling he made a friend here. People remember the people who show them mercy. Okay, so it's like they're testing him. Like they just want to see how tough he is, or how far he'll go to try to escape. I'm beginning to wonder if these are even really sand people. Maybe this is just like some sort of weird mercenary group, and this is how they actually recruit. It also just occurred to me that we never really learned, that I can remember anyway, whether the sand people were aliens or humans underneath all of that. It could be a tribe of humans, now that I think of. Never actually thought of that before. Well, whoever you're fighting is pretty good. Hardest part of doing something like that for me would be fighting the need to breathe through my nose. Don Corleone, please accept these gifts.
Something about friendship?
We really need a protocol droid.
1,000 tidings to the new daimyo.
It's an honor to be welcomed to Mos Espa by you, Doxterasi.
Is that a Wookiee pelt?
May you never leave Mos Espa.
Even when a Trandoshan pays you a compliment, it sounds like a threat.
I think it was a threat.
Presenting His Excellency,
May you never leave.
Shays, Mayor of Mos Espa and its surrounding plateaus.
The mayor's major domo, actually.
He wants you to pay him.
What? I'm the crime lord. He's supposed to pay me.
Shall I kill him?
I mean, if you want to set an example, you kind of have
Works
to.
for the mayor.
Is that a no?
That's a no.
Lord Fett offers the gift of your leave unmolested.
Apologies and appreciation. The mayor may take it differently, but I shall indeed convey your sentiment.
Now that was a
I
threat.
would not be surprised if you receive another delegation in the near future.
Capped off with an even bigger threat.
Keep an eye on that one. You were loyal to both your bosses. Would you be loyal to me if I were to spare you?
This is a bad idea.
I mean, their bosses are both dead now, right? I mean, what do they have to gain by continued loyalty to dead people? I mean, they're freaking criminals.
Apologies, I didn't see your litter.
I wasn't carried on a litter. I walk on my own 2 feet.
Apologies.
I'm just here to introduce myself and assure you that your business will continue to thrive under my watchful eye.
Well, thank you, Lord Fett. And thank you for the gracious introduction and for making the long journey to visit our establishment. It is our little slice of paradise, and you are always welcome, as it is yours now.
Not quite spoken like someone who believes it.
Huh. Yours looks shinier than mine.
Jabba rarely left his chambers.
Jabba
Your
ruled
guards
with
are
fear.
missing, guys. Have you noticed that?
I intend to rule with respect.
Also, a helmet full of coins is a helmet you can't
If
put
I
back on
may.
your head.
Speak freely.
In difficult times, fear is a sure bet.
Fucking Jawas, man. Also, what was Boba Fett thinking firing a rocket or a grenade or whatever at energy shields? He should have known what was going to happen. That was an odd decision. Sweep the leg! Hey! They rewarded the mercy that was shown to them. Where the heck did they go, though, to even allow this to happen? Wish they wouldn't do so much quick cutting. Please, Hollywood, stop quick cutting in your action sequences. Well, that guy's dead.
Fennec! Alive!
Parkour! Seriously, a bunch of these things are only here so that they can parkour off of them. That was funny. Well, these guys give up easy. So you're stealing water from Moisture Farm?
You want me to dig for water?
That's going to take an extremely long time. This does not seem like a good plan. Seems like there has to be a more efficient way to do this. Also, what the heck are those things?
I would like,
Like
a
a-
drink.
Kind of cactus that grows underground? And somehow forms a cup full of water? I am very confused. Well, that looks like a critter. I love how chains work in movies and stuff. Just throw them and you perfectly wrap around things. Times like this, I have to remind myself that Star Wars is essentially fantasy. Because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what is this thing's biological game plan? Just hanging out in the middle of the desert. What's it eat? What's it drink? How's it survive? This is our hero shot moment. So that thing must have been terrorizing them for a while. Tarukamakto! You have proven yourself a mighty warrior, Tarukamakto. You are one of us now. Mixed bag, but I think I enjoyed it more than I found stuff to nitpick on it. The only thing I will say is that I got the feeling that there were scenes cut, which seems to happen a lot with early episodes of a series, and it kind of here and there broke the sort of flow of the scenes, and the fight scenes needed fewer quick cuts. Other than that, I enjoyed it. It was a good reintroduction to the character and filled in some of the intervening time that, you know, especially like how he escaped from the Sarlacc pit and all that sort of thing. I think it's interesting that we appear to be going with a little bit of an exploration of the character's PTSD, which can create some great dramatic meat for a story. I'm just a little surprised. I wasn't expecting it. This whole thing with him and the Sand People is intriguing. I'm really starting to wonder, and I'm gonna have to look and see if anything ever did say it, because I don't remember anything in Star Wars canon telling us that the Sand People were another species. I always assumed they were, but you can see how all the stuff is actually stuff over their faces and everything. So it's entirely possible that these are just humans with a wildly different culture from most others in the galaxy and who don't speak common or whatever. And that would be very intriguing, because it's got my mind wondering if Ming-Na's character is one of these Sand People, which would be fascinating. So this is definitely one of those things where, like, yeah, I mean, it's slightly weak first episode, to be perfectly honest. It kind of went back and forth between these very different sort of like I don't know, it kept kind of feeling like we were just jumping from place to place for things to happen. Again, probably because some stuff was edited out, but it laid the groundwork of some potentially interesting revelations for the character going forward. Then I'm definitely interested in watching it. I just hope that they, you know, and I know they will, because like I say all the time, when you guys see me start a new series, I always comment on it. First couple of episodes always have a little bit more jank to them than later episodes, as they sort of find their stride and figure out exactly what the tone of the series is, how they want to edit it to complement that tone, and usually also as they get a little more comfortable with the fight choreography and everything. Because usually quick cuts like that, the ones that really took me out of it earlier, are because the actor is having trouble portraying the scene in a way that's very fluid. So you use cuts to kind of hide their inability, or to hide the moments where you sub in the stunt performers. And usually as they become more comfortable embodying the physical side of the roles and get better at nailing down the choreography, you usually will cut less often, and because continuous shots favor action. We really love it when we can see characters fighting in fluid scenes, you know? Think about how satisfying the freaking hallway fights were in Daredevil. It's all because we didn't just jump. We just kept the camera stable pretty much and watched these people fight. And that's what made it so great. So I'm hoping that will improve. And then the scenes will just flow together a little better as we go along. But like I said, on balance, I did like it. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. Let me know what you guys thought of this first episode of the Book of Boba Fett. And if you think I'm being a little bit too nitpicky, let me know. Just know that it usually does, like I said, ease up within a couple of episodes just because the episodes usually get better from the first one. First one is usually your king of jank. I very rarely see a series where the first episode isn't a little wobbly, so I always give them a little bit of slack, but I feel like I have to comment on it. It's just my nature. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining me for this reaction. You guys be safe and be well. I look forward to talking to you in the comments, and I will see you for the next one. Bye-bye.